Peace and Black Power. Welcome to another edition of Baba TV, House of Consciousness. It's my absolute pleasure, and I'm very humbled to be in the presence of this master teacher right here, whom, when I was a young man, I first saw sitting on Rafu's porch probably about 20 years ago as this mystic brother walked up the stairs, and I wondered, who is this brother right here? And Rafu told me after he left who he was, and I think it was that time, around that time, when you had your book out. What was the name of the book?
Spiritual Warriors of Healers.
Yes, sir. Spiritual Warriors of Healers. If you could just give the people a few words, a little bit of your time as to what you've been doing and who Mfundishi is.
All right, Asante Sana. Ankh Uja Seneb Neb. As he said, I'm Mfundishi Jehutimas Ka in Haru Hassan Salim. And I'm a spiritual healer, a Kemetic priest, a professor, and my specialty is the Hapi, the Nile Valley. But I teach people, in order to master self, you need to understand who you are in relationships to the universe. Because we are spiritual beings, divine spiritual beings, having a divine human experience. And so when we say that, it's important for us to understand, what is this divinity about? We're here on the planet Earth, so the first thing we have to learn is the mineral domain. And you see here, these the crystals, the gemstones, they are the minerals. Your blood is liquid crystal. The earth is a mineral. The sun is a mineral. And so it's important for us to have a relationship with the mineral domain. So that's one of the first things that I teach. The second thing I teach is the plant domain. That's herbology. Understanding medicinal plants, understanding the healing plants, understanding the plants that we should be eating, the fruits, the plants, the nuts. So we should be moving towards vegetarianism if you are not. The third domain is the animal domain. And animals were not put here for us to eat. Animals were not put here for us to enslave or to be our pets. When you take animals out of their natural habitat, you are actually ruining the ecosystem of the planet. So we're wondering why the planet is acting the way it is, and we're destroying the ecosystem here. The fourth domain is the human domain. You can't see yourself in relationship to the universe unless you understand those other domains. We are divine beings. And we just happen that we are a soul, just happen to be in a body. And you've been in many bodies. So let me just make that statement. So this body is a temple. So the idea is to treat your body like a divine temple. And when you're dealing with spirituality, that's what you are doing. The sacred science helps us tap into this energy of amplifying this body to its highest resonance so that you can spiritually ascend to your highest power. Spirituality, or the spirit domain, is the fifth domain, and it permeates the mineral, the plant, the animal, and all of the other domains. And so that's important. And I teach the Medu Necher, which is the written and spoken language of ancient Kemet. And all of the secrets, all of the foundation of science that we have in the world today comes from ancient Kemet in the writing, because they etched it in stone. But ancient Kemet, the Nile Valley, is the mouthpiece of the African continent. So let me make that statement. Sometimes people think that we'll separate ourselves from West Africa, from East Africa, from South Africa. No, Kemet is the African continent. It is the voice. Everything that was happening in South Africa was recorded in Kemet. Everything that happened in West Africa was recorded in Kemet. Everything that happened in Central and East Africa was recorded in Kemet. And let me say this, the Medu Necher is the only body of works we have that's uncontaminated by Western thought. Because we wrote this down before the Western man came on the planet. We wrote this down before he could speak, before he could write. And so it is our works. And we are tapped into all of that. So that's why I teach the Medu Necher. It puts us in touch with the divine. The spiritual things that I have here, whether it's the books, the Sa, these pendants, they help us tap into our highest resonance. People sometimes teach the 7 chakra centers, which is Sanskrit, which also comes from our brothers from the Hapi Valley. Ancient Kash is the parent of ancient Egypt. So I have my DVDs over here, where I'm lecturing and speaking all around the country. People can come onto my website, which is www.mfundishijahutimas.com. I'll say it again, www.mfundishijahutimas.com, where I teach the Madu Necha class. So I don't care where you live, London, France, Canada, you can tap into my Madu Necha classes. I have beginner and intermediate classes. Also, I teach here in Harlem. I teach crystal workshops, healing workshops. I teach workshops on ancient Kemet, and I teach the Madu Necha classes to help rise people's spiritual vibration. And I wanted to do a shout out to all my people out there that helped me win the Black Power Awards this weekend that just passed. So I was nominated the best spiritual and sacred science teacher in the country. I want to say dua to y'all. Amin Ra Nasud Nature, Atin Ra Nebenank, De Inu Ank Uja Seneb. See, without the people, without the students, there is no teacher. And so I want to thank all those fans, all those people who are tapping in there. And I just want to say, Trump might be a good thing for you because it forces us to come together. It forces us to work together. It forces us to bond together. It lets us know that we can't depend on the same government that enslaved us to liberate us. We have to liberate ourselves. So brothers and sisters, this is a time we're moving to the age of Aquarius. It's a time to raise your consciousness, raise your vibration, raise your spiritual connection. And I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about spirituality. You see, you are the nature in human form, but you have to tap into your higher consciousness, your higher vibration. And anything you can use by changing your diet, changing the people you're around, changing your concepts to help you raise your vibration. So hopefully I tapped into your life. Hopefully you will be raising your vibration. I have a third edition of Spiritual Warriors Are Healers, comes out in December. And I have a new book called Menchu Hotep and the Spirit of the Magi. So if you want to know what it's like to have a real initiation, to go through a spiritual vibration, how to be a real spiritual warrior. And I'll leave you with this words because students say, well, Mfundishi, you're teaching the martial arts, you're teaching warriorhood, but you're supposed to be about peace. I said, listen, this is the same thing that a farmer said to his grandmaster 2,000 years ago. He says, it is good to farm the earth, but in time of war, you are prepared as a warrior. It's best to be a warrior who is a farmer who don't know nothing about war when war comes. So people, right now war is around the corner. Be a spiritual warrior. Be at peace, but when war comes, you are prepared to deal with it. Dua Necha.